Am I the a-hole for giving my daughters 1 week to leave my house after what they did to their half-brother who was sick? I have 2 daughters. Both over 20. They graduated college and moved back in with me because they couldn't find a job. The house is my late husband's house, Robert. For context, their dad and I got divorced 9 years ago. I got remarried to Robert and had my 7-year-old son Tom. The girls didn't have a good relationship with Robert. In fact, they hated him because of what their dad filled their heads about him. They lived with their dad, they chose to, before going off to college. Robert passed away 6 months ago after a long battle with disease. It was just me and my son Tom. The girl's dad got remarried last year and the woman is basically a witch. That's why the girls stopped visiting there. They lived in rental apartment during college and their dad used to pay for rent but stopped after his wife fought with them. The girls couldn't get a job to pay for rent and asked if they could move in with me and Tom for a while. I, of course, said yes. Although I knew how they felt about Tom. They moved in and they were nice to Tom but also distant. 2 days ago, I had an unexpected call and needed to leave the house. Tom was in bed all day because he was sick and I asked the girls to look after him for 2 hours till I got back. I left quickly. Then an hour later, I got a text from Tom asking me to come home because he threw up again in his room. He said he called for his sisters to help but no one responded. I immediately tried to call them but both lines were busy. I did my best to come home earlier thinking the girls weren't at home, but turned out they were. One was downstairs the entire time, the other said she was using kitchen appliances, that's why she couldn't hear Tom. I was going to believe them till Tom said he tried to text them but they didn't respond. I checked their phones after they tried to deny it and he was right. His message was read but no response. I blew up at them both and called them pathetic. They argued that I was making them act like they are the parent and placing responsibility on them. I knew this wasn't about that. They hated Robert. Fine. That might be a little understandable. But Tom is a kid and he has no part in all of this to be treated like that. I knew they neglected him on purpose. So I told them they have 1 week to move out and they started arguing and even crying saying I'm being too harsh on them, and acting worse than their dad's new wife. I said this wasn't up for discussion and now both of them are giving me the silent treatment. Basically making me feel guilty about the whole thing. Maybe I've made a wrong decision. But seeing how they've neglected their brother merely out of resentment and hate makes me feel upset and quite concerned to have them around him. I purposefully ignored what my husband told me he wanted for Father's Day, after he did the same to me on Mother's Day. He's now ignoring me and won't accept my apologies. Me 32 female and my husband 34 male have been together for the past 9 years, we have 2 kids, a 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. For Mother's Day all I wanted was a free day. I wanted my husband to take the kids out somewhere for the day so I could be home alone and relax. Instead he got me and the kids tickets to have a fun day out. And it was fun, and me and the kids had a good time, but it irked me that he gave me the exact opposite of what I'd asked for. For Father's Day my husband also wanted a free day so he could stay home and game all day. He games all the time with his friends. He'll get home from work, maybe spend the time between then and dinner with the kids before going up to his office to game for a few hours with friends. Instead, I got him and the kids cards for an arcade an hour away with a ton of tokens. I gave him the cards during dinner on Saturday so he and the kids could leave early and spend all day playing with them. I got my free day and he and the kids got to make a lot of memories together. He and I got into a fight when the kids went to bed. He was angry that I ignored what he wanted for Father's Day. I was angry he didn't see that he'd done the same thing to me on Mother's Day. He's been ignoring me since and won't accept my apologies. Update. It's been 4 months and we are in the process of getting a divorce. Update. A year after the original post, I didn't wake up to a messy kitchen that I was expected to clean after eating a subpar breakfast. I didn't have to fight with anyone over what gift I was given. I didn't have to cook dinner after an exhausting day where I got no help or thanks from my ex. I didn't have to do anything else that I came to expect with Mother's Day. I didn't feel the stress I have felt every other Mother's Day. I got to have a lazy morning in bed with my kids. We made pancakes for brunch. They gave me cards they'd made in school. And we watched movies on the couch all day and ordered pizza for dinner, and it was wonderful.